Hi everybody, it's Molly at So and So's Place. Thank you very much for being part of Audrey's Happy Sewing Box. Audrey's over there keeping watch today. It's a rainy day here in town, and so we're going to do some sewing. Listen, don't look back behind me. This is an old building. This is where my sewing machine is. That's where the plug is. It is what it is. I know I'm supposed to have some kind of really pretty background for y'all to look at, but this is my world, and I like it. All right, today we are going to be working on the pot holder, and it is very, very pretty. All of these little prairie points come together and make something quite beautiful. It's amazing the things you can do with fabric, isn't it? All right, as you recall, in your box this month, you received a prairie pointer tool. Now, I've taken mine and I've tied a ribbon to it because those little suckers get hot. So, you know, while they're fantastic, having that little ribbon on there helps slide it out really quick while you've got the iron on top of it. And I've got a super hot iron, so I found that to be effective. I love this tool because it makes your prairie points so crisp and pointy. I'll show you in just a second. Also, in your box, you received your foundation fabric. It has lines on it. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. You also received your background fabric, your Insel Bright. This is a must-have for things, you know, cool, hot, fantastic, and your cotton batting. 100% cotton batting if you're going to make those bowl cozies. You received your orange fabric for your center, your kind of light fabric. It's got a birchwood texture to it, visual texture to it. That is for your middle points, and then also the sunflower fabric for your outside points. And I haven't decided on my end yet what the binding's going to be, because I want to kind of look at this and see what I think when I get to the end. And so whatever it is will be in your box. Alrighty, and I'll have a picture of it for you. All right, we're going to get started here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut that circle. Now, if y'all were here last month and we made the hand pin cushion, which was a variation of this right here, then you watched how to cut a circle. You learned that. And if you don't have the, for instance, the Martelli circle templates, then this is a quick, easy way to do a template. We've all got a cardboard box around the house, and that's why this fabric is lined. So I'm going to turn the camera down just a little bit and scoot these things out of the way. I have this acrylic stand right here on my sewing machine table. It comes in really handy as a little extra work area. All right, what I've done is I have, grab a couple extra pins here. I'm gonna secure my fabric just a little bit on here so it doesn't shift. Now, you might find other ways to secure yours that work for you. All right. The circle that we need is going to be 7.5 inches. So half of that is 3 3/4. And there's a circle at the end of your seam gauge right here. All right. We're going to put our pin in that. And I need a fabric pin. Ooh, lost the cap. I have one of those little grippy things to hold sewing notions in next to my sewing machine over here, and it decided not to let go. All right, so I'm going to start over here and draw my circle. So here we go. And I am just pushing this ruler with my pen. I'm kind of putting a little pressure with the tip of the felt tip of the pen right along that edge of the ruler. And I can do it from this side as well. Look, I just joined those two edges. Can you see that? I have drawn my 7.5 inch circle. All right, now I'll just move the pins my ruler. Don't need that cardboard anymore. And let's get my scissors out. I'm going to go ahead and cut along the outside here just because you never know. I can always go back and trim off the extra later. But once it's gone, it's gone. Can't put it back. Alrighty. I love having this big sewing machine bed. Gives me lots of work room. Okay. So now I have my 7.5 inch circle, channeling Eleanor Burns, and I can check it right here on this little ruler. And sure enough, I'm just 1/8 of an inch over, which is okay with me. Now I've got my ironing board set up right next to me, and I recall that the first set of instructions says to press it in half and then press it again this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit my iron right here. I have an extremely hot iron. And I've also got a clapper over here. I have tailoring clappers. I have quilting versions of clappers. I have my handmade version of a clapper, and I'll show you that one. That's the one I'm using right now. Alrighty, so that is pressed down nice and flat. This is the clapper I was using. The last time we built a house, we had 3 extra feet of handrail, and so I had the builder leave it for me, the young man who did our stairs, and my husband cut it down into 3 pieces for me and sanded it, and I have one here at the house and one at the house and one here at the shop. Wonderful, wonderful press tool, nice and flat on the bottom, and then rounded here that I can slide it into a sleeve and press things open on it, and then holding it, it fits just right in your hand. So if you ever know anybody building a house or doing something with a staircase, those are wonderful. All right, now open this up, and you see you've got your 4 quadrants. Beautiful. So you can lay each, not this one, let me set these aside for the moment. All right, we're going to start with the orange. That is our center. Now if you've not gone on and prepared your prairie points, now is the time to do it. And I will tell you, it makes a huge difference using that prairie point tool. Look how crisp that little point is right there. Amazing. We're going to lay those down, and we're going to bring those points right up just as close as you could get them. Right there in the center. And I hope you're able to see what I'm doing here. Bring those in. All right, I'm going to put some pins in this. When you get them where you want them, then secure them down, because they will shift, and you want them just as tight in there as you can get. And this, you know, every layer is important, but you got to start with a good foundation. Now when I edit this, I'll try to speed up this boring stuff, but I don't mind if you fast forward through the boring stuff either. You won't hurt my feelings. All right. Line your nose up to your needle. And a 1/4 inch seam. Now I'm not going to start right on a corner. I'm going to start right about here. That way I don't have to worry about anything getting hung up. So when I start sewing, I'm going to start right about there, not right here at the very corner. Once again, we do not sew over pins. Almost there, turning my last corner now. And I'm not going to back stitch, I'm just going to overlap 3 or 4 stitches. Lost a thread somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right. So there we go, all stitched down all the way around. See that on the front and back. Okay, now the next row, it says that we should line up the colors so they're in a direct line above the color 1 triangles, and we want them to be about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch away from the center point. So if they're going to be about 1/2 inch away from the center point, then that is, right about there, all the way around. And I'm going to pin as I go on this row. And since I'm not wearing this, I'm not too concerned about overpinning. That one can go in a little bit. I haven't learned how to join videos together yet, y'all, so that's why I'm not stopping and starting this a lot. Maybe in later months when I learn more about video editing, I'll stop and start and save y'all all this. Let's see here. Now, the same thing with this next row. Going to overlap it. And this time we're going to make sure that this second row that you're putting in, you want to line up right here. Okay, so you see how the first row is lined up identical, laying down exactly the way the first row was, but now this third row, you want to line it up with the kind of the gap between the two. All right. I wish I could see all of y'all saying, yeah, gotcha, okay. So again, a 1/2 inch. I'm going to go with the 1/2 inch, not the 3/4. If y'all want to try it with the 3/4, you let me know how it turns out, because I want to see your pictures of how your creations are. All right, now right here, I've got a pin under there. I can feel it. It's right there. Can you see it? So I'm going to reach on under here now, and I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to put it on top, because I don't want to get going around there and hit that pin. This one I can see. See this pin right here I can see, so I won't have any problems pulling it out. But that one, yeah, that one would have come back to bite me. Now I'm going to go just the opposite here. I'm going to do just the opposite. It just seems logical to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll find out when I go to put the next one in. Yep, there's another one under there I'm going to have to watch out for. All these white and red pins I'm using, y'all, are glass head pins. I can iron over them and they won't melt. That's why I like them. Yep, there's another pin I gotta watch out for. See, now that we're further apart, they don't hit side to side. Plus, I know these red and white ones are super sharp. I like sharp pins. All right. I think that one's too close. One more. Oh, I got a pin under there. How y'all hanging in there with me? Want me to sing to you? We sang all new stuff at church this morning, so don't ask me to sing any of that. You would not be pleased. I can't remember half of it. Now, if he had done some old gospel stuff, then I'd be rocking y'all out. Because that would be playing over and over in my head. All right, here we go. We'll start in the middle again. Needle down, 1/4 inch. Anytime it looks like something's going to pucker, just keep your needle down, lift your foot, straighten yourself out. Don't get any puckers in there because you'll regret it. How's that? Is that better? See, I'm turning here, going to here, and then I'm turning and coming across. Ow. And then I'm turning and coming down again. So it's a lot of pivoting with your needle down and then coming across the next one. So whichever one is on top, and then pivoting and doing it again. It's not hard, nothing hard about this, just paying attention to what you're doing and not sewing over any pins. Then pivot. Now I'm on the next one that's on the top, and we're almost back to the starting point. There we go. And I'm just going to overlap my stitches like I did on the last one. No need to back stitch. Cut my threads. All right. Looky here. See all that? So all I did was come across, pivot, 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 all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, back to the beginning. Very simple. So there's where we are now. And now it's time for the very last row. All right, last row, we're going to do the same thing again. And this time, rather than starting here, we're going to start here. Half inch from there. Get all these threads out of the way. Ugh. All right. So go to each of the four. I can hear my iron over here. Bloop, 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 bloop. That one got a little off. Tell you what song is singing in my head. Y'all don't realize this, but I'm filming this on September 11th. And so yeah, the song that's in my head is Have You Forgotten? No, I have not. That's the one that's in my head. Usually when I'm sewing, I've got a radio on, or Call the Midwife, or a movie or something. Generally not sitting alone. I wish I could do this in a live Facebook feed with y'all, but as you know, the struggles I've had with that recently. I think it would be more fun to do this on a Zoom call with y'all. If I could figure that out, I would. Okay, last row. So we've got the first row down. Now I'm starting on the last one. You see how it's overlapped? The reason I went so far out on this pin is because I caught part of this one in it. See, again, I've got the overlapping pin thing here, so I'm going to grab it after I put another one in over top of it. as you're doing this, if you notice your flaps starting to come apart, push them together before you pin it, okay? Don't let them start sliding apart on you, because you'll see those gaps in the finished project. There I go again, holding something in my mouth. I hear my dentist in my head. Teeth are not for holding things. You know why he told me that? Because I keep chipping my front teeth. But it's not because I hold things in them. I know some of y'all are laughing right now. Truly it isn't. Oh, sitting here looking. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? People keep coming for lunch at the diner, and the diner doesn't do lunch anymore on Sundays. I wish they would, but they can't get help. That's not the right pen. All right, wind it up, baby. Now, she said, the lady who wrote this pattern said she likes to sew it from the back. Don't know that I could see all my pins to sew it from the back. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna baste it from the top first. So let's see how that goes. I'm gonna set this up at about 3.5 and work my way around. I can see the edge right here. I can see this blue edge poking out. So I'm going to run a baste around the outer edge, and let's see what it looks like. Basting stitch ain't going to hurt nothing. Again, I'm going to start in the middle. When I say I'm starting in the middle, that means I'm starting in the middle of a piece, not on the center of a piece somewhere. And rather than this one having all those straight lines and pivots, this one's just running round. I'm just checking for pins as I go. Looking at this, I can't decide if it needs orange for a binding, or you know what I did? I did it backwards. I was going to do this in the center and this in the outside. Oh well, y'all do yours the way you want to. I think it'll be pretty whichever way y'all choose to sew it. Huh, I just realized that. I picked up the closest point and started sewing. Oh my heavens, what a day. You know what? That's the beauty of making it yourself. And here I come right back around to the beginning. I could take it apart. I don't want to. Let's see. Looky there. All the way around. So, what do you think? You like it this color? Or do you think we should start over? Let me see your show of hands. All right, I think we keep going. So now we have to trim away the excess fabric and zigzag all the way around. So that is easy enough to do. Turn it over to this side. And let's grab some better scissors than those little scissors. This has got some weight to it now, golly. Yeah, those pinkers aren't going to do it. Hang on, y'all. Got to go to the cutting table. All right. All right, there now. I made a mess. Good thing about my messes is I clean them up. Okay, now we're going to zigzag around the edges. Almost there. Halfway done. And we're done. All right. Okay, now we are going to let's see, la 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 la. It says to layer your potholder top, the batting, which is this one, the Insulbright, which we all know and love, and the backing. Look at there. There are all of our layers. So we have our backing, our Insulbright, our batting. Got all the kids at the party now. Make sure everybody fits. Shift it over this way a little bit. I don't think I want to put any pins in it, but I think I want to put a clip or two in one or two places. just to make sure nobody has any wild ideas. And I'm going to put my walking foot on here. And if you have a walking foot, they come in real handy. It's not something that I use a lot, but I do find it when it gets really thick like this, and this has become very thick. I do find it very helpful. So this is the version of the walking foot for my machine. I don't know what brands y'all use, but this is what I have, and it kind of takes me a minute of staring at it and fiddling to get everything in here. So give me just a second. I swear sometimes it's almost like a whole disassembly thing, because you don't want to put anything in the wrong place and then hear something go clunk. And yet it comes off so easy. Do y'all have those kind of glasses when you look the wrong way you can't see? That's me. If I look the wrong way, I can't see. It's like I know that little thing is there somewhere. This all has to line up to that hole. I hope y'all are enjoying this. There. Right there is where that hole goes. Oh God, y'all would never know I've been sewing like this since I was like 6. Oh, not my first rodeo. All right. Where's my scrap fabric? Okay. Always check. It's just a good idea. Always check. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sew from here all the way across to there. And then we're going to go back this way. And then we're going to go back this way. And we're just going to kind of figure eight it, crisscross, and secure everything down. It's simple, but you want to be careful when you do it. I'm going to lengthen my stitch. Let's see, I'm on a 2.5. I'm going to go up to like a, I don't know what the pattern maker represents. I'm going to go up to like a 2.8. See how I like that. And as I go, I'm going to make sure that all the points of my star line up. And it's kind of like stitching in the ditch, but the ditch is those creases on your points. If you'll notice, I'm kind of lifting up the sides of my project. And that's getting everything in the middle right there. Take the clip out. I'll come right off the edge here. this is what I meant by you'd never see that piece in the middle. Okay, so I've gone this way. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, there's one. No puckers. Yay. Oh. But I did get a huge skip there, which makes no sense. Hey, look, y'all. See, I have hiccups too. How about that? Well, let's see what that's all about. Well, let's see if that's any better. Okay, well, it looks like I have to investigate something on my machine here because I am getting skipped, so I might need to change my needle. So, I guess I am going to have to learn how to do some video editing here because I know y'all are probably kind of bored sitting here watching me do this. But I will go ahead and get my needle changed and do a few more rows on this, and then I'll come back in time for the binding. Okay, so y'all start doing some construction if you haven't already. And I will meet you back here after I have crisscrossed this. All right, that's what I'm going to do. And I will see you back shortly. Bye. Hi, everybody. Molly at So-and-so's place here again. Okay, well, Missy was having a moment. But it's my bad because I had not serviced her since my last big project, and she was letting me know that she was not pleased. So I ended up having to pull off the plate down here and get in there and do a little bit of TLC. So pay attention to your girls because they will let you know when they need some loving, and Missy needed some loving. You know, I'm the one who's supposed to watch out for that and pay attention to the signs. So that's what she was telling me, was like, hey, we're doing some hard work here and you haven't loved on me in a while. All right, well, all the quilting is done, and now we are adding our binding. So what I have done is taken the binding. You've got a strip of that in there with your project. They're different colors. And so this is the one that I just picked out of the pile. And I have gone and I have pressed a third of it back. And then when I get finished, now that'll already be pressed and ready to go. So it's easier to do it before you put it on your project. You know this from doing quilting. It's easier to pre-press that one edge of your binding. I do this on garments as well. Pre-press that one edge. All right, I also did a little curve shaping to it as I was pressing it. I kind of stretched that curve into it. You don't want to stretch it a lot, but you can do a little bit with that steam iron. Now, I'm not going to start right at the beginning. I'm going to start right back here so that when I get to the end, I can take my two edges like this and I can work them together and finish off, okay? I measured around the circumference of this pot holder, and it was 25 inches, so I've got about 26, 27 inches of binding here. That's all you need because this is not a huge project. Also, I use these little clips rather than pins because at this point, you know, why aggravate yourself? All right, we are going to go right down here, and let's see if we can get y'all paying attention. Yeah, I have patterns everywhere, y'all. I have patterns. What is this? This is for a teddy bear. Yeah, because my grandson and granddaughter, my daughter-in-law sent me baby clothes. She said, here, make me a teddy bear. Make them teddy bears. So I did. I have patterns everywhere. Patterns. I dream about patterns. I dream in patterns. I dream in Technicolor patterns. I dream of this store. I dream of y'all. You just don't know the things that are going on. It's like a pinball machine up here. All right, presser foot down, foot down. I changed to a smaller presser foot too. I thought that might give Missy some relief. So one that's a little bit narrower. I know it's really hard to see. This light has just so much glare. I wish I knew how to zoom it in and give y'all a little better view, but that light is just so bright. Yeah, okay, well, here we go. We're going around. Might backstitch just a smidge here. There we go. Not that I expect this binding to be pulled on, but... And I'm just using the width of my presser foot kind of as my guide. I think that'll be sufficient, and if not, I can always go back again. And remember now, we had just basted before, and I went back and I did all of my points, and because I've just clipped this, if I need to do any adjusting on this, which I can see I do on this bias, then it's easy just to kind of pick it up and scooch it along so that you don't get any puckers in it, because I did not want to stretch this bias as I was placing it around the edge. So I can see that it is plenty long. Yep, I'm repositioning this as I go. And there's no harm in that. I think sometimes people must have cameras mounted around their neck so that they can have the camera right there in front of the needle. I'd love to know how they manage that. Okay, we are coming right up towards the end. Almost there. And I am going to stop. Okay, can you see how I have folded back my little flap? Can you see that? I'm going to try to get right up to it. So I'm going to come down here. Let me see if I got a pin here. All right, I'm going to put that in there so I can kind of see where my beginning is. So I've put a pin right here so I can see where my beginning is as I come around. And I'm going to stop there. I'm just creeping up to it. All right, now I'm going to back stitch. There we go, plenty. That's not bad. I'm maybe 3 stitches away. Could have gotten a little bit closer. I can always hand stitch that when I'm putting this down. Okay, so now, see my binding goes right over that edge. Look at that. It just wraps right over it. Now I'm just going to finish it up on the back side, and this is kind of dealer's choice here, y'all. If you like doing that stitch in the ditch, then you go for it. I am not a fan of stitch in the ditch, although I did it here on the front. You can see everything's completed back there. Alrighty. I'm going to finish up these little tabs here. I'm going to wrap one over the other and tuck them in. Oh, I probably need to move that presser foot off there. This is so much easier to do on a quilt, isn't it? Quilt is a little bit more flexible than all these layers of pot holder. Oh, and my husband came by to say hey. My phone's been ringing. I'm telling y'all, it has been quite the afternoon. I don't have my pens. I need my pens. Let's see if I can get in there with this. I cannot get in there with this. I'll try it. Oh, I cannot get in there with this. This is when you need a zipper foot. Yeah, this foot ain't going in there. Y'all want to see if I can mess it up? I mean, heck, it's just thread. You can take it out. I hear people say sometimes, well, I was scared to try that. What you scared of? It's just thread and fabric. Get up there. I mean, if you don't try, you ain't gonna learn nothing. Let's see what happens if I turn it this way. How bad is it? Is that something I can tuck and fix? No, it's too bulky. There's too much bulk. I'm gonna do this by hand. And I know y'all don't want to sit there and watch me do it by hand. But what I can do, let me put a clip or two in this. I love hand sewing, y'all. It kind of keeps me sane. So, you know, I told you, fold that back so you've got an idea of how much you need to cover over your previous stitches. But because you folded it back, you can also pull it out to cover. See, like this. See up under there, you can see your stitches from earlier. So take these clips and put them on there and cover up those earlier stitches, all right? Now, I'm gonna get out my needle and thread. La, 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 la. I had one sitting right here. Lord have mercy, where did it go? Oh, Jesus, hold my hand. I swear to goodness, there's so many people in this shop that sew that things just disappear when I ain't. We're just all in here doing the same thing. All right, let me see here. Okay. See, this is the kind of thing I do sitting there at night while my husband's got something on the tube. And then I just get to sit there with my sweetie and do handwork. Okay. I tend to go in this direction. So burying your knot. If you don't know how to bury your knot, oh boy, let me see if I can get this where y'all can see. All right, some people have heard the term and know what it means, but this is how you bury your knot. Turn off the machine. Maybe that light will help, not having it. All right, to bury your knot, I'm going to show it on this orange and maybe it'll, the contrasting. Okay, so you put your needle in the fabric and push it on through, come back up. So see the little knot right there? Just give it a little tug and you'll hear it. It'll go pop. There you go. It just popped right on through, just like that. Okay, now that's not where I want it because it's sticking up in the middle. So I'm going to pop it back out. But now I'm going to go under here on the underside, and I'm going to bury my knot, and I'm going to come back up where I want to be. And I'm going to bury my knot, and I'm going to come up on the underside of this bias tape that I put on there, this little bias trim. And I'm going to grab just 2 or 3 threads, just like that. And I'm going to pull it right over right over the edge of the machine stitches. And then I'm going to come back into the pot holder, the pretty side, and I'm going to grab 2 or 3 more threads. Just like this. And I'm going to go back into I call it the birch fabric, so if y'all know what I'm talking about here. If you've got the sunflower on the outside, then it would be the sunflower fabric. Then I'm going to go back into my bias trim and grab 2 or 3 more threads. And I'm just going to keep working back and forth just like that. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's too little. No, it's not. And you don't have to put clips in the whole thing. Once you get past a clip, then just move it to the end and just keep moving them all around. I know you're thinking, well, she's struggling with that. Well, yeah, because I'm sitting in an awkward position. Let me do a little bit here, not sitting so awkward, and then you can see what it looks like. It'd be nice if I had one of those studios that I could just sit and sew with 14 cameras on me, and then y'all could see it and you'd be like, oh, I get it. But you know, that's why we do classes and things and sewing lounge and all that. Because I don't have a studio, and I love sharing sewing with y'all. I really do. Because it's my most favorite thing. I could sit here and do this all day long. If I had music going. Got to have a little music or conversation. All right, there, I've got about 1.5 inches done. So see, I've gone from here to here, and it's just blended right in. And I've just taken and moved 2 pins. I've had 2 clips, or pins, 2 clips, and I've just moved them all the way around as I go. And I'm just going to keep on doing that all the way until I've worked my way around. And I'm going to get down here, and I'm going to take that out. I'm going to stitch it by hand because it just takes a few little stitches. It's not hard to do. But that's the pot holder. And I think you'll enjoy it when it's done, and all your friends are going to come over and see your matching pot holder and your matching towel, and they're going to be like, where'd you buy that? And you're going to be like, girl, listen, me and Audrey, we got it going on, and I'm so happy to have Audrey's Happy Sewing Box. Registration has now cut off for the year, so it's just us. And in January, I may or I may not open it back up. It may just be us until next summer. So if y'all have any questions on anything, you just holler. And you can always shoot me an email at mollyeducates@gmail.com or molly@sewandsews.place.com. You can always call me at the shop. I'm generally here Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 5:30, on Saturdays from 10 to 2. And if I'm in here any other time, it's probably because I'm doing something for y'all. And let's see, how else can you reach me? Well, you can see pictures on the website. I'm doing my best to get this Facebook thing working, but truly, y'all, I don't like Facebook. So I'm going to keep doing the unpublished videos on YouTube, which I will share the link with y'all in Facebook and through email if you want me to, because I know not everybody's on Facebook, which is fine. I wish I could figure out how to make it work on Zoom, but that would mean we'd all have to get together at the same time. But if y'all want to, I might try to look into that. And if you have, if you need me, you just let me know. I'm here for you. All right, y'all have a wonderful day, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.